Tony Bonici's in here with us, and we're fired up to have him in because, one, we want to say thanks for what he's done for this place and for sports radio, because without him, I don't know what happens the last 25 years. And he's going into the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame along with Jesse Leeds, because you guys spearheaded so much of this. And we were talking about the Aviators at the start, and then UNLV was a big part of the product. But there's been important things along the way and commitments that you didn't have to make. So let's start with the Golden Knights. So the Golden Knights come to town. The NHL is a pretty big deal in other markets, but there was some doubt here in this market. Hey, is it going to work? What were your dealings early on with the Vegas Golden Knights? And I know you're competitive, so you probably wanted them, but was there any doubt at all? Like, hey, this is going to work and we're going to make money off it.
Definitely. So first of all, I won't put a name behind what I'm about to tell you, but I reached out to talk to somebody who I respected a great ton. And I said, hey, what do you think about the NHL coming to Las Vegas? You know, Vegas, what do you think? And he said, I'll tell you what I think. The only thing with good with ice in Vegas is a cocktail.
Well, that's not encouraging.
So I'm going, oh boy. But you know what? It was I Detroit, Michigan guy, hockey's big there. I thought, there's going to be a lot of work behind this. I met early before I even let the whole staff know, before I let Jesse know, Natalie know. I was already meeting with the first person they put boots on the ground here, just kind of on the side, just doing what you do when you're in sales, just kind of working it, trying to get ahead of anybody else in town that was going to go after it. So I was laying the ground, going after it, having lunch. He happened to be Italian, so it was easy.
Okay. So, all right. Connection. All right.
Yeah. Last name with Bonnici. That worked well. So anyways, bottom line is, I was nervous. I knew we were going to have a lot of work to, on our end, because I took everything very personal. To me, if we're going to be a partner with somebody, it has to succeed. It has to succeed. And succeed to me is butts in the seats. That's for them. So I got to accomplish that. And then also we have to generate revenue because I have a boss. He happens to own the place. So the bottom line is that, it was nerve-wracking. I mean, it was nervous and I was ready. Something people may know or may not know. I can't tell you how many phone calls I made to general managers across the country to see if, where we could get airplay for the Knights. So I was working it from a lot of different angles for their benefit. And then they come out and have that first year.
Yep. It changes everything.
Game over.
Winning is so gigantic. And this is I'm not ripping the town, but this town has so many entertainment options. If you are ordinary or an owner doesn't appear to be trying, it's going to be a 3-year novelty. But they won right out of the gate. So that goes boffo. On your end, you give them a station basically. And then I think that was the first FM stick for sports, right?
Correct.
You gave them FM before we had it. Not jealous, because they deserved it. And then they blow up. But along the way, then the timeline I'm going to screw up here, but I'm going to talk about WNBA next.
Okay.
Putting WNBA on radio, play-by-play, like no one does that. And you came almost right out of the gates and you're like, we're going to do play-by-play for all the home games. Now we're doing the road games. And I'll tell you, I think until this year, the only other station, I don't think there was any other station doing home and road play-by-play. And Indiana, because of Caitlin Clark, added a TV team that goes to all the games. But we've been the first one to get behind this thing and do it on radio. That was a hell of a commitment.
It was. And the first thing I want to say is any decision that came out of this building was never a Tony Bonnici thing. It wasn't me all by myself. I was never the Lone Ranger riding my white horse. It was always a collaboration of people, and by the time the WNBA came out, I was working more with Natalie in that area than I was with Jess. And Natalie and I were in concert with the fact that, one, we need to do this because it's the right thing, because, I have a wife, I have a daughter, I have sisters. It's the right thing. And we need to give them an opportunity to succeed. And the greatest thing about it was the folks that owned the team happened to be one of my good friends. So I called him, and when I called him to say, hey, listen, what are you guys thinking about for broadcast? He says, Tony, we haven't even thought of that.
Right.
We got a season coming up, but I'll hook you up with whomever, and you can go, talk to him, and let's see what you can work out.
And to put it in perspective, that team moved from San Antonio where they were averaging like 1,500 a game.
Right.
So it was not a winning product. It was not a big time product that we could guarantee was going to deliver here. I'll also point out, when you mentioned Natalie, she's the current GM, Natalie Marsh.
Yes.
No insult to you. She has taken sports to another level because she's completely enthusiastic into it. And I'll also mention that this is another great thing here is we had one of the first female sports program directors in the country.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people around radio. And when Julie was here and she had a good run, when she was here, like there weren't, the funny thing is I actually worked for another female at the time at Sirius. So I have to be the only person who had two different female PDs, but that's a commitment too. And that's not always easy, with personalities and, testosterone driven sports radio.
Yeah. But I knew Julie, we knew Julie could pull it off. Julie was special. She loves sports. You're talking about Natalie a second ago. Natalie, she knows sports. I mean, that there's no question about it.
Every once in a while, she's like, "Hey, that big five, 5 o'clock hour." I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" She's like, "No, it was good. It was good."
Well, and by the way, no insult comes my way when you say Natalie took it to the next level. She should take it to the next level. That's
if she hadn't, then
then it'd been a problem, right? I mean, you have to understand. I pulled Natalie out of she left radio. It was done, and I went to her and said, "You need to." I'm not asking you to come work for another radio station. I'm asking you to come work for me. And I guarantee you, I do it different than what you've experienced in the past. And she humored me and was going to met with Jesse. Well, story over. You get Jesse and Natalie together in a room for a couple hours. I win because, in fact, I get both of them on my team. And she went from an account exec to a sales manager, to more than a sales manager, because she was very instrumental in helping me and landing some other deals, to running this place, being the market manager and doing a killer job.
So we got to pay the bills for 3 minutes. I told you only 2 blocks. I'm going to keep you for 5 more.
Okay. And
because we got some important things to get to, the scholarships and the Hall of Fame, and also the legacy of developing talent and standing behind it. We'll come back in a few. We got Mike Davis from Fox 5 coming up in about 15 minutes.
It's the Stanley Cup Final on Sports USA, and Game 1 takes us to the Sunshine State as the Florida Panthers battle the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers can be slick on the ice with Draisaitl and McDavid.
That's hockey, baby! Connor McDavid puts on a show!
The Panthers can fly with Bennett, Barkov, and Tkachuk. Oilers at Panthers, Game 1, this Saturday on your home for the Stanley Cup Final, Sports USA.
ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM.
Zip Zap Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the Valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, Zip Zap is your one-stop shop, offering 24-hour smog test, oil changes, detailing, bodywork, engine, and transmission rebuilding. And Zip Zap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary, 24-hour service. Zip Zap Auto at Cheyenne and North Durango Drive, and online at zipzapauto.com.
Hey everyone, it's Joey from Sky Diamonds in Town Square. Summer's upon us and it's already sizzling out there. The deals are also sizzling at Sky Diamonds. Let us rock your summer. Make sure you're blinging for that pool or beach or backyard barbecue. Whether it's a nice gold chain or a new diamond ring, make it easy on yourself this summer. Use our 5 years, no interest, no money down financing. We have the largest and most beautiful store in Las Vegas, not to mention 10 times the inventory of everyone else. Come experience our passion. Sky Diamonds, located in Town Square.
Where does a journey to wellness begin? Do you start looking for diet ideas? Or searching for exercise plans? Actually, you don't have to look far. Just look to the first 2 letters of the word wellness. We means you don't have to figure it out yourself. It means your hopes and challenges are a perfect match for our knowledge and resources. It means anything you want to achieve, together, we can achieve better. Because wellness begins with we. Intermountain Health, the power of we.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn a $50 bonus bet on top of your original $50 or more deposit and wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features live and play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now back to Cofield and Company in the Finley Toyota studio, only on ESPN Las Vegas.
So next Friday is a massive day. It's the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony, number 25. And Tony Bonnici and Jesse Leeds from Lotus Broadcasting are going in for their contributions and building the LV Sports Network and having all these properties and sports talk shows. And we do have to mention every year, throughout the year, they're raising money, but they have a silent auction, which is so beneficial. I am blown away, Tony, every time I see them announce 7 scholarships and kids are like, 5.9 GPA. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, but they're getting really smart kids to school.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about. It's about the scholarships, and it's working. The founders that put this thing together years ago, it's working. Where they're paying for, they're paying for kids to get through school with debt free. Can't be any better than that,
right? With the cost of school now,
oh.
It's craziness. So yeah, they have they've got, let's see, the David Hum scholarship, Simon Keith. We all know about his story. He's tremendous. Richard Bajan, great guy, and what a legacy. They're actually adding a new one for Hunky Cooper, and anyone out there who's been in the high school community and now back to UNLV as UNLV guys back on the staff now. They've got a commitment to youth award for local coaches to high school and to youth. So it just keeps building and building and building.
Every one of the guys you mentioned, all athletes, all super guys, super businessmen, great people.
So I got to mention Jesse.
Love Jesse.
And we're going to try to get Jesse in next week. Jesse's a little more soft-spoken than you are, but he's got a lot of stories. I will say this. Jesse's contribution to this is big because obviously he was heading up the sales staff. You got to make money if you're going to do sports and we've got 100 radio stations, right? We got 4 sports radio stations now. Jesse dealt with something that was really interesting. This is how I got into the building. I had done national radio for 5 years, right? I was looking to stay in Vegas and I come up with this idea, I got a backer and hey, can we buy time? This is a very common thing in sports radio and actually happens all over the market. Dealing with brokered shows is really interesting because they're part of the group, but they're not. And guess what? They also have a monthly nut to pay. And I don't know that all of us, I did, but collecting money is not easy. And that's a struggle. These guys and women who are doing broker radio, they're fighting for money and it's tough. And Jesse was always patient with everyone. It was understanding and gave him a real chance. And sometimes it didn't end up great, but he gave him a chance.
No, we got burned a few times on those deals, but you know what? We would not be here today if when we started this thing, if we didn't generate revenue, and that was Jesse. Jesse was the man, and we did everything we had to because, back then sports radio wasn't what it is today. Yeah. And so, no, Jesse gets an enormous amount of credit for this being here today, because that's why I say it's a we thing, because there's so many, this wouldn't be here if it wasn't for guys like you, Steve. So many people had a part of this thing, and sales is definitely a big part.
I mentioned before, I think I only spoke to you, say, in a serious conversation less than a half dozen times. And by the way, we're coming up on 20 years. We were a brokered show to start.
Yeah.
We're coming up on 20 years in the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I think 5,000 shows.
Wow.
So thank you. Because at some point along the way, listen, COVID, things got tough. And corporate radio was like, yep, some of the first people to go. Don't care who you are. Don't care what your reputation is. You're gone. And they got rid of a lot of people. And you guys stuck with, most of us here. So that could have ended it. So I appreciate that. And the other thing, I'll mention it again. This place is great to work at because you guys back the talent. And I'm just going to mention one story because the people involved have gone on to big success.
Okay.
Sometimes we step over the line. Sometimes we have a guest in and we're like, oh boy, I don't know what's going on here. I've kind of lost control. And the Mike Tyson story, it's gotten out there a little bit. Tony, that Mike Tyson story now, I don't know what you would have done. I don't think that you could have done what you did. I think it would have gone so viral. It would have gotten so crazy now in 2024. I don't know what you would have done.
It was going viral then. I got more complaints from people from Alaska and people, that never even heard the show, and they weren't local. It was all people, and it was groups that were coming after us, is what it was. And again, we just kind of, I don't know. I guess it was a personality. We just decided that we're gonna get through this, and we did.
You stick by your guys. You don't panic. It was Mike Tyson coming in here saying some ridiculous stuff about Sarah Palin, and Mitch and Seton Paul were on. And listen, it's hard. It's Mike Tyson. Like, what are you going to go? You shut up. Going to break. Maybe that's what should have been done, and then there would have been a fight in the studio. But you stuck by them, and that's a massive deal. And I tell people all the time. You told me a story earlier about we had affiliation move somewhere else, right, to another station. And by the way, one of our personalities was on the national network going against us, and you were like, "Oh, you want to do the show in the building against us?" Sure.
Yeah. Well,
that's the kind of stuff that Tony does that you'd be like, well, he's insane.
Well, he didn't like the environment where he was at, but he had a national show to do. And I said, why not? And as it turned out, look
how it turns out.
The karma sheriff sometimes
JC's
kicks
tied
in.
with the Raiders.
Yeah.
He, eventually he's back. He's doing some satellite stuff. We're all cooperative. And
the only mistake I made, I'll let you know.
Uh-oh.
I retired a year early. I don't have a ring. And both the aces got, they win, Knights win. So I retired 1 year too early to be in the game. But anyways, can I tell you, on the other side of that, Natalie did something so cool for me. She bought me cufflinks for the Golden Knights that look just like the ring. And they are so beautiful. Matter of fact, I'm going to wear them next Friday.
Good.
At the event.
You got your speech ready?
Been working on it. They give you certain, there's a lot to say, and you can only do so much. But looking forward to the night.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I really meant it. You guys stuck with us, so you deserve this honor. And we're going to get Jesse on because Jesse deserves a few minutes as well. So thank you so much. That's Tony Bonnici. We'll have the silent auction information out next week, early in the week. Go up and first of all, the stuff is unreal. Memorabilia, Vegas staycations, trips. Important cause, and we should mention before we close, you're also big on scholarships.
Yes, my wife and I started a scholarship fund about 13 years ago, and we seek out folks that are interested in broadcasting, and we have given out, as of this week, 290 full tuition paid scholarships in 13 years.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's it. It's not saving lives, but I mean you're ensuring their future is not debt riddled from the get-go.
Well,
it's so big.
You know me as a business guy. I want kids to be able to get out of college debt free, and that's what this thing's doing. The Hall of Fame event is all about scholarships, and what we're doing is the same.
There he is, Tony Bonnici. Thank you.